What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of Let's Be Frank with your host, your friendly neighborhood bull, Frank Mattis, brought to you by the Old City Sports Network. Right off the jump, I apologize for the laggy, choppy video quality. I'm not 100% sure why that is, but like we always do, we soldier on, and a laggy video quality will not stop me for talking about those Philadelphia Eagles who punched their ticket to Super Bowl 59 with a commanding, no pun intended, victory over the Washington Commanders, 55-23, in their most complete performance of the year. It was quite the scene at Lincoln Financial Field. Luckily for me, I was in South Philly. I was at McCusker's. Shout out to McCusker's, great spot. And, after the game, after the great dub, my girlfriend and I, along with her friends, decided to go to Broad Street to enjoy the festivities. Didn't climb on any poles, thank God, but we enjoyed the festivities. That took place on Broad Street, and I hope you guys did as well. But just know that the job is not done, and we still have one more. We have one more, and we will be Super Bowl champions for the second time in franchise history, and I look forward to that. I look forward to breaking down all of the greatness that was on Sunday. There's a lot to get into, a lot to digest, and I will get into all that. But first, I'm going to let you guys know about our fine sponsors. WarlordBeardOil.com is your go-to spot for all your beard products. If you use the promo code OLDSPORTS, you will get 15% off all site-wide. And if you spend $65 or more, you will get free shipping. So head over to warlordbeardoil.com. Use that promo code OLDSPORTS. You get 15% off on all your beard products, and $65 or more will get you free shipping. I also want to let you guys know about Decals by Aaron. I know some of you out there from Delco are very proud of being from Delco, and almost quite literally wear it on your sleeve. But you could literally wear it on your sleeve by getting the best Delco gear out there by Decals by Aaron. I know there's some Eagles themed Delco gear out there. That might be a good selection for you out there who love the Eagles and are from Delco. You get the best of both worlds, essentially. So go to facebook.com/decals by Aaron to get your top quality Delco merchandise, or go to decalsbyaaron.com. What a game. What a game. What a game. Man, where do we begin? You know, when Washington was going down the field in that first drive, and for whatever reason, they decided to kick a field goal, even though they went for it on fourth down twice. To me, that was the wrong decision. And boy, did the floodgates open on the next offensive drive, or the first offensive drive, excuse me, of the Philadelphia Eagles, where Saquon Barkley, the greatest football player on the planet, and I said it, yeah, the best football player on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. I understand, it's a quarterback-driven league, but what this guy has done, his physical ability, the fact that he does it on a consistent basis, makes him the best football player on the planet. And I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Breaks off an opening touchdown run, and my jaw dropped. I didn't even scream or yell. I was just so overwhelmed and blown away by how great this guy is. I mean, it takes your breath away. And I don't mean to sound corny, but it's really true. I mean, you think that, the wheels are going to fall off eventually, because running back is one of those positions that doesn't have a long shelf life. And you have a shorter career than most given the wear and tear. But not this guy. Not this guy. This guy is special. This guy is incredible. 15 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, what is there to say about it anymore? When it comes to this guy, when you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, to me, I don't know if you guys have seen the Vince McMahon meme where, they ask him a question, or, there's a question of something. Hey, Dad, what was it like with such and such or whatever in their prime? And I feel like Vince McMahon doing this, when it comes to 2024 Saquon Barkley, because I'm going to be telling my kids about this guy for many years to come, because this guy's incredible. He has been incredible all year long, and I think he'll be incredible in the Super Bowl, because that's what this guy does. It's consistent greatness, game in, game out, week in, week out, and he does it again. and has been the catalyst of this great team all year long. And he has been a godsend to this organization. And he's been a godsend because he's taken the pressure off a lot of guys, including Jalen Hurts, who, by the way, was sensational in this game. Absolutely sensational with his arm, with his legs. I'm done relitigating the argument about whether or not Jalen Hurts can be an effective quarterback from the pocket. I am not relitigating the argument of whether or not he's a top 5 quarterback or whether he's an elite quarterback. That is dead. That is buried. This guy is elite. This guy is going to his second Super Bowl in 3 years, and he continues to stack up W's. He was sensational, absolutely sensational. And it was funny. My buddy posted a stat in our group chat that the Eagles are 4-0 when Jalen Hurts throws for 150 yards or less, or 155 yards or less. I think that's what it was. And they're 0-3 when he throws for more. Well, that stat is no longer valid because he went 20 of 28, 246 yards, a touchdown from the pocket, and then he had 3 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Just an incredible job by him. Really puts to bed all the doubts about him, whether or not he can win from the pocket. That fourth down dime to AJ Brown was textbook. That's as good as a throw as you're ever going to see. Just a tremendous job, and I'm so happy to have a quarterback like him who can do it all and is content on maybe taking a back seat every once in a while to stack up W's and do what he's got to do to help the team. And he was sensational on Sunday. He really was. It was the best performance of the year, and it puts to bed any argument or any criticism. I shouldn't say any criticism about the guy, but some of the lingering doubts about can he be an elite quarterback? Can he be an effective pocket passer? That's dead and buried. The guy's for real. The guy's elite, and he's going to his second Super Bowl in 3 years. So for all you haters out there, put that in your pipe and smoke it. AJ Brown was also very productive as well. He obviously had a touchdown pass. He caught the ball off of that dime from Jalen Hurts, and he was also tremendous when it pertains to run blocking. And that's another narrative that got put to bed, in terms of AJ Brown being a diva and being a terrible teammate. Well, when the guy's not catching passes, he's destroying guys in the run game by blocking guys up. And this whole notion that he doesn't care about the team and it's all about him, that's bullshit. The guy is absolutely a team player. He's flamboyant at times, and he does things that might not be everybody's cup of tea. But make no mistake about it, AJ Brown is here to win, and AJ Brown will do whatever it takes, whether it is in the passing game or in the running game. Um, he's gonna get his, and he's gonna be productive, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to win. So a lot of narratives died on Sunday. The narrative that Jalen Hurts is not an elite quarterback, and the narrative that AJ Brown is a bad teammate. I mean, no more slander on those guys, for the love of God. Because it was a bad day for critics of AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Let me tell you, I will not relitigate these arguments anymore. So those guys were tremendous. The big three, Hurts, Barkley, and AJ, when they're all humming, I mean, good luck stopping that. You know, it's one of the best triplet threesomes in the game, as far as I'm concerned, and they proved it on Sunday in the biggest of games. Not the biggest, obviously, that is the Super Bowl, but the punch their ticket, the way those guys played, it shows you when they're all at their best, they're going to be really really tough to beat, and they really imposed their will. Defense, I mean, sensational as ever. Zach Bond and Oren Burks were absolutely incredible. Both got a forced fumble apiece, flying up and down the field, making plays. I mean, you expect that from Zach Bond, but there was a lot of people that were concerned about N'Kobe Dean going down, who had such a tremendous year, and who knows what Oren Burks would have done. Would we have seen the Eagles defense kind of get exposed by attacking him and he's answered the bell, and he was sensational, absolutely sensational. Just a tremendous job by our linebackers. Nolan Smith, another sack. I mean, the guy again just keeps doing his thing, setting an all-time record for most sacks in a postseason, single postseason for the Eagles. The guy is incredible, and I can't wait to see him grow and get better. We also got a Jordan Davis sighting, which is great. This is a guy that has been criticized throughout the year, but he has shown up late in the season, which is crucial. You're obviously you're gonna want to see guys rotate in and out and give other guys a breather like Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davis has answered the call as well. Kenyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, tremendous job. Those rookies showed out. How about Will Shipley? Holy shit! How about this guy doing it with not just his running game and his running ability. He obviously he had 4 rushes for 77 yards and a touchdown in cleanup duty for Saquon Barkley, giving him a rest. But the guy had a forced fumble, and I believe he had was a 35-yard return? Yeah, 35-yard return. Just doing it all. And it goes to show you that this team is very deep. They obviously are stacked in terms of Pro Bowl, All Pro caliber talent, but they have depth who could start on other teams. And that leads me to Howie Roseman. What this guy has done with this team, not only building it now, but building it for the future. I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl, there's no question Howie Roseman will be a Hall of Fame executive. I think he's a Hall of Fame executive as it is. I mean, when you factor in he has a Super Bowl, I mean, you think about all the different types of Eagles teams that we've seen over the years and how he's built these teams up. You factor in what he's done in free agency, especially this year with Barkley and Bond. I mean, just huge steals. What he's been able to do in the draft and kill the narrative that he can't draft. I mean, Cooper DeJean and Kenyon Mitchell are going to be here for the long haul, and their best football is yet to come. Obviously, Jalen Carter has been a force. What he's been able to do with trades, acquiring A.J. Brown, a guy that is one of the best receivers in the NFL, and when utilized, is indestructible. And just how he's handled the cap, how he's been able to keep all these, these guys on, under the same umbrella, essentially, with manipulating some of the cap numbers and cap figures. He's instrumental and is a game changer in that. And I think what he's been able to do with this team and this roster, not only constructing it for now, because, I do think this is a golden opportunity for the Eagles to win, right? And I think they should win, and I expect them to win, as all of you do. But this is a team that is not a Super Bowl or bust team. This is a team that Super Bowl window has another 4 or 5 years to it. I mean, this team is built for the long haul, and that's credit to Howie Roseman and tremendous job that he's done in free agency, with the draft, with trades, with managing the cap. I mean, the guy does it all as a general manager. There's nothing he can't do, and I'm so very thankful to have a GM like him. Howie and his fan base have gone a long way. There's been times where he was public enemy number one after the 2020 season, but he has stepped up in a lot of ways and stopped getting cute with the draft and just get the best player and get the best player at the positions of need, and going out and getting pieces around Jalen Hurts to make sure that he's got all the tools that he needs, and to draft and to develop. Obviously, developing is more of a coaching thing, but in terms of drafting a defense that is going to be a problem for many years to come, I salute you, Howie. Howie Vision, baby. Howie Vision. The guy, to me, in my opinion, I think he's a Hall of Famer. Bill Polian is another guy that's had a lot of success in his career. He also only has one Super Bowl, and given the things that I've said about Howie Roseman and what he's been able to do and why he's so great, I think he absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think that's hyperbolic. I think if you look at the things I just mentioned, his track record speaks for itself. There's not one, free agency, draft, trades, the cap. he manages it all, and he does a great job with it all. And if he wins on Sunday, or next Sunday, excuse me, I think that guy will absolutely be in Canton, Ohio as an executive for sure. So I credit him. I also credit Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni's a guy that a lot of people um, have been critical of. A lot of people look at him and say, "What exactly do you do here?" But I'm here to tell you, man, that team loves that dude. That team will go through a brick wall for that dude. And something changed after the Browns game. And, obviously he got raked over the coals for how he acted and, him shouting at fans and stuff like that. But something changed after that game. This team started to play more complete football. They started to win convincingly. They took care of business. They ended games, before the fourth quarter in a lot of cases, and they started to play like the team that played on Sunday. They played like a team that is the most talented team in the NFL. And you got to give Nick Sirianni credit for that. Obviously, you give Vic Fangio a ton of credit. You give Kellen Moore a ton of credit, who I thought had an incredible game on Sunday. Having a balanced attack like they had. But Nick Sirianni letting guys do them, letting the coaching staff do their thing, and inspiring these guys to get up every single Sunday and perform and to perform at a high level. You got to put respect on Nick Sirianni's name. I've been very critical of him, but he's a guy to me that you you got to look at as one of the best coaches in the NFL. I mean, his track record speaks for itself, and you can say what you want about him not calling plays and him not having a ton of input like a lot of these other guys, someone like an Andy Reid, but his message is getting across, and it's getting across loud and clear, and those guys absolutely resonate with Nick Sirianni, and I give him credit for that. So the Eagles will take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl in a rematch of 2 years ago, and it's unfinished business, baby. It's unfinished business, and I caught a good amount of the Bills game. I'm going to go back and rewatch that game, and kind of look at things and give you a more concise and clear cut or clear analysis of this team and what I saw there. But from what I saw, the Chiefs obviously got the better of Buffalo like they do in the postseason every year. It seems. The Bills have had their number in the regular season, and that's all well and good. But when it comes to the postseason, the Chiefs, they just have their number. They have everybody's number in the AFC, and I think they're a much better team than they were last year. They have a receiving core that's much improved. That's deep. Xavier Worthy is a guy who um, is a guy that you gotta game plan around, and a guy that's only going to get more comfortable. D Hop still has a lot left in the tank. Travis Kelce is a guy who, a lot of people think has taken a step back, and you do see decline in his game and his performance. But when that postseason comes around, he's got that magic, that we've seen throughout his career. And their defense plays at a high level. Obviously, Steve Spagnuolo has done a tremendous job, and he can pretty much have that D coordinator job for life. And I mean, why become a head coach? Take the reins of a team that's hit rock bottom when you can just win Super Bowls as a D coordinator and make close to head coaching money. He's done a tremendous job, especially on that the play to Dalton Kincaid in which he dropped the pass that should have been caught. They pressured Josh Allen there, and he had no choice but to get rid of it. But to credit Josh Allen, he was able to give Dalton Kincaid a chance, but unfortunately he couldn't come up with it. Now, obviously, the narrative around the Chiefs is that the refs give them favorable calls, and in the Texans game, it was kind of hard to dispute that. Obviously the fourth down call, where Josh Allen, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, got that first down, was a little suspect. But I don't think that this game, I don't think the refs in any way other than that call um, dictated the game. I think the Chiefs were a better team. They were more prepared, and they're on to the Super Bowl. And they opened up as a 1.5 point favorite, which I mean, with Reed and Mahomes, I do get in theory why they would be favored. And the line went up yesterday. I saw it to -2. Now it's back down to -1.5. And I mean, I do get it in that regard. And they are a much better team than they were last year. But man, let me tell you, the team that showed up on Sunday for the Philadelphia Eagles, the team that put an absolute ass whooping on the Washington Commanders, I don't think anybody's beating that team. I think the Eagles get their second Lombardi trophy. I think they beat the Chiefs on February 9th, 2025, a date that I hope will live on forever, just like February 4th, 2018 lives on forever. And we will be partying it up on Broad Street or Five Points, whatever 5 points you're at, whether it's the one in the north, there's two in Northeast. I've been to both. And if you're from the Northeast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No matter where you are, I want to see another Lombardi trophy and I want to celebrate it with the people I love. And I want to get this one for my Uncle Ed, who's no longer with us and would love to see this team. I'm sure he's watching this team from up above, but this team with Saquon Barkley and this defense and Jalen Hurts, who's had to hear bullshit criticism all year long, overcome that and have this best performance of the year. And it's a team that he'd be very proud of. And I think it's a team that he would love to see go on and win the Super Bowl. And that's a team that I would love to see go on and win the Super Bowl. And I think they will. I will get into great detail and analysis of the Super Bowl. I will break down some of the position advantages for each team and kind of give you a breakdown of what the Chiefs do well and what I think the Eagles can exploit. But right at the moment, initially, I think the Eagles do beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And again, I will get into details to why. Greater detail, that is. But ultimately, I think the team that showed up on Sunday for the Philadelphia Eagles beats any team. I really believe that. That team was indestructible. And may God have mercy on your soul. If you're the Chiefs and they perform, the Eagles that being, perform the way that they perform. So that will cover that. No other topics really to get into. To me, it's all about the Eagles as they embark on their journey to the Super Bowl and hopefully bring that Lombardi trophy home. To me, I think that's really pretty much what anybody's talking about and thinking about when it pertains to Philly sports, and everything else is just kind of irrelevant. But yeah, man, that was special on Sunday, and I can't wait to do it all over again in 2 weeks. I really can't wait, and I do believe